Well, I'm here today with James. It's 30 degrees, absolutely scorching. So let's try and make this quick and entertaining for you lot. So James started appointment setting about 4 or 5 months ago now, consistently making 2K straight away. From now, he started up his own solar sales agency and he's projected to hit about 15K this month. So if we go back right to the start, why did you actually decide to get into appointment setting in the first place?
So I was really interested in the online space, and I saw quite a few of my mates like Ollie were actually sort of proven that you can make online money. And I really wanted to give this a go because I was sat in a sort of a staple corporate job. I mean, this was really exciting at the time, but I sort of always knew that I wanted more. And I saw what he was doing. And I thought, like, the way he can travel around and make money, and the fact that he's actually proven that it works, really inspired me. And I thought, like, that's actually what I want to get into.
Yeah. What were like, obviously you wanted to make money, you wanted to travel and that,
Yeah.
but appointment setting in general, what were your thoughts about appointment setting? What did you know about it?
So I was actually quite skeptical about appointment setting at the start because I thought sort of with this job I've got, like I can get up the ranks, I can be sort of making six figures, and I thought appointment setting, okay, it's sort of like is it like an admin job? Not really. What I've come to think and what I've come to understand it, there actually isn't, and there's lots of places you can go from there. But yeah, at the start I was quite skeptical, and I was like, well, can you actually really make money just from the online space? But I've been proven right. Proven wrong.
Yeah, and okay, when you started then, you came to me, got that help,
Yeah.
what I'd say was the best thing to do to anyone looking to really get ahead, take that shortcut. Why is it that you did decide to take a shortcut? Why did you decide to get some help?
Okay. Well, because sort of previous years, I've sort of tried, like I've seen on TikTok these sort of things. I've tried starting it from scratch by myself, and I feel like you can get to a certain point with that, but then you get sort of stuck.
Yeah.
And I feel like actually sort of taking that as a step and investing in yourself to actually talk to someone who's already done it is like it's just cutting corner pretty much. It's cutting up that like tedious startup place, and it just gets you to earning more quicker.
Yeah, for sure. It's just like a cheat code.
Exactly.
Now knowing that I've invested like 15K into myself, you've invested like nearly 10K into yourself. Maybe you're like hitting that now as well. Just because through experience, through actually taking that risk, we've learnt that it pays off. Okay, well, if you tell us like a bit more of a story then of you, right, now you're in the role, which you got pretty quickly, right, working for a big fitness influencer. What was it like, actually working, seeing them commissions, the first results? Like, when was that first win? Explain a bit about that.
Okay, so I got the role sort of within 2 weeks of working with you, and my first commission came in, I'd say, about a week and a half later, and it was sort of just like okay, Joy is the fitness coach I work with, and she's like, oh well, I've closed this deal, congratulations, like here's the commission straight into your bank account. I was like, oh, I was pretty surprised to be honest. It was just like it was a seamless transition, and it was just so easy from A to B. Um, hadn't really seen anything like it before, and I was just pretty surprised, and it just made me want to earn more, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mad. It's just like, cool, you've closed this commission. It's like, wow, right, that money's mine. And then when literally within like 3 days it comes into your bank, you're like, right, okay, this shit really is real. All right, well, where did you then, well, let's say you stayed at 2K appointment setting. What did you find did work? What did you find didn't work? And how did you actually stay at that 2K mark consistently?
Um, so I found sort of setting myself goals was the pinnacle to actually performing, because I found days where, because I was still working my job at the time, I found days where I was slacking, and so what I really had to do was getting a routine, set outreach goals, the outreach I'm sending to her potential clients, actually, and amounts I wanted to book that week, and it really kept help keep on top of it so that I can consistently book throughout the week and give Joy a chance of closing.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, I'd say a lot of people that start appointment setting, like a lot of people who start drop shipping or like clothing brands, they drop off. They don't stay consistent or see them first results. Like, why is that? Why did you actually stay consistent? How come you saw results and you didn't drop off?
Well, I definitely can't say I'm the perfect person for that, because I did see like a month and a week here and there that I did drop off because of working that job and like seeing people and stuff. But I think it came down to me reflecting why did I start this in the first place? Why have I sort of came to Ollie to do it? And then just reflecting on that, being like, well, this is what I want to do. Just takes me back like, oh, I need to lock back in now. Like, here's the motivation and doing it. And to be honest, from the start to where I am now, like, just made 2K this week in it actually.
Yeah.
So it's a lot better.
Yeah. And in that moment then, like when you fell off, I remember we had a chat. But generally, like in general, from me coaching you from start to finish, what do you think was some of the best advice? And back to that moment when we're like, right, we need to lock back in. You know, what were the best moments? What did you actually find useful about the one-to-one?
I think sort of constantly having someone there, not over your shoulder like a boss, but someone there to advise you, someone that's been through the same thing you've done, and honestly wants the best for you. I feel like that's really helpful. I also think, but at the same time, like if I am slacking, Ollie would send me a message being like, okay, right, well, let's have a call, let's figure things out. Why aren't you seeing the outputs you want? And a lot of the time it's because the inputs aren't there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Inputs aren't there.
Sometimes, like on offers, generally, you know, there's going to be problems. The lead flow is not going to be there. You know, like your client maybe isn't replying. You can't let that let you drop off. You need to stay consistent, keep doing the same output, get on them. And if you do have coaching, if you have like people that have been in the online space, you know, they can come to your coach, actually come up with a plan and help like improve the offer for your sake as well. Cool. All right. Well, you know, you were doing the appointment setting for about 4 months, and since then you've taken a big step. Would you like to tell us about that?
Yes, I invested myself into solar sales. It's sort of a big step up from appointment setting, and hopefully a scalable business where I can eventually employ my own appointment setters and potentially closers. And it's but I sort of start off doing that all by myself.
Yeah. How are you finding that now then, stepping from appointment setting to the next big thing?
Yeah, it's definitely exciting because it shows that like appointment setting it's the entry point, and it's a great stepping stone to actually get into the online space. And yeah, I'm just excited for what the future holds of it.
Yeah, for sure. That's the great thing about appointment setting, because it's such an entryway into the online space. You can go into closing, you know, you can make your own offer, you can make your own agency, you can go into setter management. There's literally endless things that you could do. All right, well, what would your advice be to someone who is looking to take that step from appointment setting to the next big thing?
Okay, I think, well, my advice would be, you've clearly like got to a point where if you're interacting with these sort of videos, if you're maybe reaching out to someone like Ollie, then there's clearly a spark in you that wants that change. And I mean, I had a degree apprenticeship. It's a perfect job. Like, it's a great way to get into corporate, but I wasn't happy with that, and I was sort of took that risk to actually invest in myself, and now I'm earning more than I was in a month, in a week.
Yeah. Pretty mad. Yeah, because although you've now got like the sales agency for solar, which is like kicking off, you're also still making pretty much passive from the setting role, because what you're doing now for setting role, what you actually implement.
I'm a setter manager, so I sort of look after the setters, make sure they're reaching their KPIs. It's quite a simple job, to be honest. It's very passive, but it's bringing in money. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so you've gone from just working that 9 to 5 job to having money on the side at first to now having your own agency with passive income. I mean, how does that feel?
Well, it's pretty much a passive income that sort of replaces my typical 9 to 5, and I've got so much time now to focus my full attention into solar, which has boundless opportunities.
Yeah, cool. Well, a lot of the online space, you'll see people talking about mindset, and you know, I'm a big believer in mindset and structure, discipline. Along your journey so far, how have you handled your mindset? How have you shaped it to make sure that you can be on top of your game? What are some of your experiences?
Yeah, I think it's incredibly important. I think one thing I found is, as I said, writing like a list of what I want to get done. And I always do the hardest thing first, because it's like, it is like a little dopamine rush. It's like, I've done this, okay, next thing. It's sort of like a Maslow's hierarchy effect. And there has been times where I've slipped out. Like, you're obviously going to be tempted, like, oh, let's go out with my mates. Like, everyone's always around there. There's always going to be one person available, but you've got to learn to be like, is this going to benefit me? No. Like, you have to learn to be able to say no to sort of just meeting people that isn't going to benefit you.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things that I found as well. Literally, just that power of saying no, because when you can say no to other people, you can start saying like no to yourself. It just becomes a whole lot easier when you're doing it everywhere. You're not just going like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. It's the same as telling yourself like, yeah, okay, I'm not going to doom scroll right now. I'm gonna get up and do the work. But yeah, a lot of good value in there. What would you say potentially to someone that might not even be interested in appointment setting, but they know they want to make money online, they know they're worth more, and you may be watching this like, oh, do I go in? Do I not? Like, what would you say to someone in that position who's on the fence?
Well, I'd say, to be honest, you can go through your life sort of staying with that zero risk corporate job, or you can. I mean, all along I knew that I wanted to be my own boss. Like, at the end of the day, like whether it was 30 years down the line, I wanted to own some sort of business, and I feel like getting into the online space is now actually, like, since COVID, is the best way. But I feel like if you want change, you need to invest in yourself and you need to make that change yourself. Like, no one's actually gonna sit there and be like, I mean, definitely your parents. They're not gonna sit there and be like, oh, this is a good tip to do.
Yeah.
You've got to like see it and want it, and just like make that change.
Because the opportunities are everywhere. It doesn't even have to be appointment setting, But as well, like you touched on the parents, it's like a lot of the time, well, I'd hope most of the time your parents do want the best for you, but they don't know about these opportunities. They don't know what is best for you a lot of the time. Yeah, okay, that's good advice. I was thinking then, what are your plans, your goals for the rest of the year? What are you planning?
So I'm looking to, obviously, because I'm now working remotely, I'm gonna look out to go maybe to Brazil with you.
Yeah.
Sort of Bali, these places where I can like be in my element, join the running clubs, eat really healthy, join the fitness routines, but be there with like-minded people that, I mean, honestly, what they say, your network is your net worth.
That's it.
Because like, if you're surrounding yourself with these people that have the same goals as you, then that's ideal. And I just want to be scaling up my solar business. Gonna start maybe at the 3-month mark. I'm gonna start employing people and just really try to grow it.
Cool. And if you just touch on that, then scaling your solar business, do you think that would have been possible without starting off in appointment setting?
No, definitely, because I'd have no idea what that is, and I think it's someone that you can utilize to, which is it's quite basic skill, but it's so necessary, and it's like that's gonna help me as I'm growing up.
Yeah, great. All right, well, thanks, James. And if you have made it this far, then obviously you've taken a lot of good value away today. Don't waste it all. Go put it into action. You can go over to my Instagram. I'll link it in the bio. There's a lot of value in there, and I break it down into more short form videos if that's your style of watching the content. Alternatively, you can go onto my YouTube and watch like the rest of them long videos with a lot of value that are really going to set you ahead. And if you want any help at all, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. I'm there to help you guys. If you want to look at coaching, if you're serious about it, I've got my website linked below. There's more information on there, and then there's links on there so you can book a free call with me and we can jump into that. But thanks for watching, guys.